The story begins with the aftermath of Jinx's rocket attack. Jayce and Mel survive the explosion, but 2 council members, including Mrs. Kiriman, are killed. In the ruins, Jayce discovers Victor, gravely injured, and rushes him to his lab, attempting to save him using the mutated hex core. This leads to a catastrophic explosion. In a council meeting, Mel consoles Caitlin as she mourns her mother's death. Ambessa enters, wheeling Councillor Sarlo into the room. Sarlo advocates for revenge, urging the council to attack the Undercity demons. Mel sarcastically remarks on Ambessa's helpfulness, while another councillor, Shula, suggests showing Piltover's strength to maintain order. Caitlin identifies Jinx as the perpetrator, leading Sarlo and Shula to call for an invasion. Mel reluctantly supports the invasion, but insists Hex-Tech weaponry should not be used. At home, Caitlin receives letters of condolence and a key, her family's legacy, from her father. Later, she seeks comfort from Vi. Vi apologizes for her role in recent events and offers to capture Jinx alone. Caitlin, however, proposes a different plan, Vi joining the Enforcers. Vi refuses, explaining that she cannot align with Enforcers because they killed her parents. Mel visits Jayce's apartment to check on Victor. She finds Victor encased in a protective hex core shell, which is keeping him alive. Jayce, overwhelmed, struggles to understand the hex core's mechanics. Mel provides emotional support, reassuring him amidst the chaos. At a memorial for the fallen council members, Mel delivers a speech. Suspicious movements among the Enforcers catch Vi's attention. A disguised Undercity criminal infiltrates the stage and shoots Mel. Chaos ensues as Rennie, seeking revenge for her son's death at Jayce's hands, arrives wielding a powered chainsaw. She kills several Enforcers before confronting Jayce, injuring him. As she prepares to strike a fatal blow, Vi intervenes. Simultaneously, Chemtank soldiers, enhanced by Shimmer and equipped with mech suits, descend from an aircraft, wreaking havoc. Caitlin and her allies are surrounded, but Vi and Jayce manage to destroy one of the chem tanks with an explosive attack. Ambessa and her warriors also join the fight, dispatching the remaining chem tanks with precision spears. In the aftermath, Caitlin declares her intention to venture into Zorn to dismantle Shimmer operations and eliminate Silco's loyal agents. Vi, having changed her stance, joins the Enforcers, now armed with Hex-Tech weapons. Zorn is in chaos, with its leadership in shambles following Silco's death. Various power players vie for control, plunging the city into further instability. Amid this turmoil, a group of thugs chases a young girl named Isha through the streets. In her frantic escape, she falls into the lower levels, landing near Jinx. Without hesitation, Jinx takes down the 3 thugs with her gun. Struck by the girl's vulnerability, she decides to adopt Isha, taking her under her wing. Savika, now occupying Silco's old office, vents her frustrations. Struggling to repair her malfunctioning mechanical arm, she laments how everything has fallen apart since Silco's death. At Jayce's apartment, the mysterious hex core cube suddenly calls out Victor's name. Victor awakens, pushing his way out of the cube and startling Jayce. Overjoyed, Jayce tells Victor that he has resigned from the council and wants to restart their research together now that Victor is alive. However, Victor declines, saying their paths have diverged, and bids Jayce farewell. At the Firelight's hideout, Echo and his gang take in new members displaced by the city's unrest. While exploring the area, Echo discovers a leaf corrupted by Hexcore energy. He brings it to Heimerdinger, who recognizes the phenomenon and recalls encountering it before. The two decide to break into Heimerdinger's former apartment in Piltover to uncover more information about Hexcore's effects. However, they find that Jayce now resides there. Jayce examines the corrupted leaf, intrigued by its abnormalities. Back in Zorn, Jinx is repairing Savika's mechanical arm when the area is suddenly engulfed in toxic smoke, a tactic used by Vi and Caitlin to flush her out. Jinx narrowly escapes, but is ambushed by Smeech, a chem baron. Just as the situation seems dire, Savika arrives. Jinx hands her the newly repaired mechanical arm as a gift, and a fierce fight fight ensues. Savika ultimately kills Smeech, ensuring their survival. Elsewhere in Zorn, Victor is ambushed by a gang of Shimmer addicts attempting to rob him. Displaying his newfound ruthlessness, Victor captures their leader and uses his technology to transform him into a more advanced and powerful version of himself. Impressed and terrified, the other addicts surrender, pledging their loyalty to Victor and recognizing him as their new leader. At Ambessa's residence, a woman seeks an audience with her. Though her intentions are far from genuine, she unleashes a magical artifact called the Rose, which temporarily blinds Ambessa and her bodyguard, Rictus. However, the artifact's power wanes quickly, allowing Ambessa to break free. In a swift counterattack, Ambessa kills the woman, neutralizing the threat. Vi suggests once again that she and Caitlyn should search for Jinx together, arguing it to be the most effective approach. Caitlyn disagrees, insisting that moving as a group would be safer. As emotions run high, Vi apologizes to Caitlyn for the chaos caused by Jinx. In a vulnerable moment, the two share a kiss, marking a turning point in their relationship. Ambessa meets with Sallow, urging him to gather Piltover's nobles for an important strategy meeting. Sallow agrees, setting plans in motion for a decisive response to the escalating conflict. At Jayce's residence, he theorizes that the Wild Runes phenomenon is responsible for the strange environmental changes such as the falling leaves. He explains that the Wild Runes occur when the boundary between the physical world and the arcane realm becomes thin. The group discovers that the arcane patterns on Echo's tree are a result of hextech overuse. Determined to investigate further, they travel to a channel 200 feet below the surface to study the arcane disturbances. Vi and Caitlyn track Jinx to her location. A heated battle ensues. Vi faces off against Jinx, while Caitlyn clashes with Savika. Caitlyn gains the upper hand, incapacitating Savika and shooting Jinx, severing her middle finger. As Vi pins Jinx to the ground, prepared to deliver a final blow, Isha arrives to rescue Jinx. She points a gun at Vi, but Caitlyn intervenes, shooting the weapon out of Isha's hand. Isha shields Jinx, refusing to let her sustain further harm. Caitlyn attempts to shoot Jinx again, but Vi intervenes, unwilling to let Caitlyn harm Isha. In the chaos, Savika activates a valve, releasing a surge of air and sewage through the ducts to Piltover. A disagreement between Caitlyn and Vi escalates, and Caitlyn strikes Vi in the stomach with her gun's butt. Meanwhile, Heimerdinger, Jayce and Echo are transported to another dimension due to the destabilizing effects of the Wild Runes. Back at Mel's apartment, a mysterious black rose engulfs her and her assistant, leaving their fate uncertain. At a council meeting organized by Sallow, Ambessa announces martial law and appoints a general to lead the invasion against Zorn. To everyone's surprise, Ambessa names Caitlyn as the general. Sallow feels betrayed by the decision, but Caitlyn accepts the role, determined to take decisive action. A flashback reveals a shocking twist. Rictus, Ambessa's trusted bodyguard, conspired with Rennie to orchestrate the attack on the memorial. This was Rennie's attempt at vengeance for her son's death. In the shadows, Singed is seen working on a new experiment. Warwick, a wolf-like creature imbued with Vanda's mind. Vi and Maddie discuss the increasing presence of Ambessa's soldiers in Piltover. Maddie insists it's for the city's safety, but Vi remains skeptical of their true intentions. Meanwhile, in a secret location, Ambessa works to develop hextech weaponry. When her scientist fails to deliver results, her frustration boils over. Turning to Rictus, she reveals that the Black Rose has taken her daughter, Mel, as leverage. Isha creates chaos in Piltover, staging an event that makes it appear as though Jinx has returned. The ruse spreads panic among the citizens and forces Ambessa to meet with Caitlyn to discuss progress on her plans as Piltover's appointed general. In Zorn, Savika rallies the people with a speech about unity and resilience in the face of Piltover's recent aggression. However, the rally is interrupted by a sudden ambush led by Rictus and a squad of Noxian soldiers. During the chaos, Singed cuts his palm, and the drops of blood on the ground awaken Warwick, his monstrous creation. Singed, Isha, and other rally attendees IDs are captured and transported to Stillwater Prison in Piltover. Warwick begins tracking Singed, driven by the scent of his blood. Determined to rescue the captured Zornites, Sevika and Jinx hatch a daring plan. Jinx disguises herself as an enforcer, with Sevika posing as her prisoner. The pair infiltrate Stillwater through the main lift, neutralizing the guards and freeing the prisoners. As the rescue unfolds, Warwick arrives at the prison, tearing through enforcers in pursuit of Singed. Jinx intervenes to stop him, but Warwick easily overpowers her. Just as he is about to deliver the final blow, something stops him. He notices one of Jinx's bombs, then her face. His fiery red eyes shift to yellow, and in the moment of recognition, he utters a single word: powder. Jinx shows up unexpectedly at Vi's apartment with shocking news. Vanda is alive. Initially, Vi doesn't believe her and pins Jinx against the wall, demanding the truth. Jinx insists, pleading that Vanda, now Warwick, needs their help. Vi hesitates, but begins to consider the possibility. Ambessa and Vi visit Stillwater Prison, surveying the devastation caused by Warwick's rampage. Meanwhile, Caitlin interrogates Singed, suspecting he orchestrated the monster's appearance. Singed evades her questions, but his cryptic remarks suggest a deeper connection between him and Warwick. Mel finds herself trapped in the Oculum, a sinister prison of the Black Rose. She encounters a man who introduces himself as Kino, claiming to be her brother. Kino reveals that their mother, Ambessa, once fell in love with a man from a distant land and had a child with unique value. Mel grows suspicious, realizing Kino might not be who he claims. She slams his head against the wall, and the Oculum transforms, binding Mel in glowing chains. A voice echoes around her. It becomes clear that Mel herself is the one with hidden power. Suddenly, she radiates a bright glow, breaking free from her restraints. Jinx and Isha guide Vi to where they last saw Warwick. Meanwhile, Ambessa covertly visits Singed, offering him unlimited resources in exchange for Warwick. At Singe's lab, Caitlin discovers horrifying abominations and confronts him about Shimmer's creation. Singed reveals he's been driven by a desperate mission to save someone he loves, his daughter. Vi, Jinx and Isha find Warwick, but he attacks them ferociously. Vi equips her gauntlets to defend the group, while Jinx urges her to trust that Warwick is still Vanda. Reluctantly, Vi removes her gauntlets and calls out Vanda's name. Warwick has a vivid flashback of his past, and in the present, he hesitates. Slowly, he embraces Vi, recognizing her. Jinx joins them, and the three share an emotional reunion. Back at the Hex Core, Jayce is transported back from the alternate dimension to find a transformed Sallow awaiting him. Through Sallow, Victor communicates with Jayce, sharing the incredible advancements he's achieved with Hex Tech. However, Jayce is horrified, believing Hex Tech to be a dangerous force that must be destroyed. As Sallow begins to leave, Jayce makes a fateful decision and ends him with a powerful strike of his hammer, resolving to put an end to Hex Tech once and for all. The episode begins at the Herald, a place where the sick, deformed, and wounded seek healing. Jinx, Vi, and Isha bring Warwick there, hoping to find help for him. To their surprise, Victor is revealed as the creator and leader of the Herald, using his advanced technology to aid those in need. Vi and Jinx reluctantly leave Warwick under Victor's care, trusting him to heal the man within the beast. Meanwhile, Singed, Caitlin, and Ambessa and her Noxian troops track Warwick to the Herald. Ambessa proposes storming the place, but Singed intervenes, suggesting diplomacy instead. Singed is granted an audience with Victor, where he observes Victor's remarkable work. Impressed, he also notices that Victor's power is finite, depleting with every use. When Singed reveals his intent to take Warwick, Victor refuses, declaring that Warwick is under his protection. Singed leaves, but is shadowed by Vi. As Vi follows Singed, Caitlin ambushes her, easily overpowering her. Singed reports back to Ambessa, warning her that Victor's attempts to save the man inside Warwick would render the beast useless to her plans. Shortly after, Caitlin drags a cuffed Vi into Ambessa's tent. However, the scene shifts to Jayce, now inside the Herald, his hammer in hand, fueled by rage and confusion. Vi is left alone in Ambessa's tent, chained to the wall. As Ambessa prepares to kill her, suddenly Vi breaks free, revealing revealing that her capture was part of a well-crafted plan orchestrated with Caitlyn. Vi immobilizes Ambessa while Caitlyn subdues Singe, both determined to protect Warwick. In the Herald's corridor, a disorientated Jayce encounters a boy who leads him to Victor's lab. Meanwhile, Rictus corners Caitlyn, accusing her of betraying Ambessa. As he is about to strike her down, Jinx intervenes, engaging Rictus in an intense battle. Rictus gains the upper hand and is moments away from killing Jinx when Warwick intervenes, smashing Rictus aside and declaring Jinx as his daughter. Jayce finally reaches Victor's sanctuary. Without hesitation, he uses his hammer to strike Victor, seemingly killing him. Victor's death causes a catastrophic chain reaction. The Herald's inhabitants collapse and their connection to Victor's power is severed. At the same time, Warwick undergoes a terrifying transformation, becoming an even more monstrous beast, exhaling lava and fire. Warwick goes on a rampage, killing indiscriminately, but is brutally torn apart by the enraged creature. Ambessa orders her troops to attack, but Warwick's fury proves unstoppable. Amid the chaos, Vi and Jinx are gravely injured. Realizing the dire situation, Isha takes the hex crystals from her pocket and combines them with the ones already embedded in Jinx's gun. With trembling hands, she aims the enhanced weapon at Warwick and fires, unleashing a powerful blast that may be the only hope of ending his rampage. The episode ends with the scene fading to black, leaving the fate of Warwick, Isha, and everyone at the Herald uncertain. Echo finds himself thrust into an alternate reality, confused as he notices unfamiliar details, earrings he doesn't remember getting. In his disorientation, he spots Jinx and instinctively throws an object at her. Benzo suddenly enters the room, alive and well, prompting an emotional hug from Echo. This alternate zone is vibrant, thriving, and untouched by the tragedy of Echo's original timeline. Benzo, Vanda, and the entire city brim with life. Heimerdinger appears and explains the challenges of being thrust into time-space anomalies. When Echo asks how long Heimerdinger has been there, he responds cryptically, about 1,000 days. In another dimension, Jayce lands in an apocalyptic version of Piltover. The city lies in ruin, and Jayce limps through the devastation. While traversing the barren landscape, he falls into a deep hole, injuring his leg. Over days of struggle, he constructs a mechanical leg to climb out, a testament to his ingenuity and survival instincts. Returning to Echo's timeline, he learns that the Hex Crystal explosion killed Vi during the group's attempt to steal it. Searching for answers, he discovers shards of the crystal in an abandoned apartment. Hoping for a solution, he brings the shards to Heimerdinger. Together, they theorize that these fragments might recreate the anomaly responsible for their displacement and potentially send them back to their original dimensions. Echo enlists Jinx's help for the project, and she agrees. Intrigued by his determination, alongside Heimerdinger, they develop a machine capable of manipulating time. However, their first test inadvertently creates a time loop mechanism, allowing Echo to reverse time by 4 seconds, a discovery with both promise and peril. In Jayce's timeline, the desolation of Piltover weighs heavily on him. Haunted by visions of the city's downfall, he encounters a cloaked figure holding a hammer similar to his own. The mysterious figure confirms Jayce's fears. This is where Piltover's destruction began. Desperate to undo the damage, Jayce pleads to be sent back to his original timeline. The figure obliges, propelling Jayce through a rift in time. In Echo's timeline, Jinx invites him to an innovators competition party. Her dramatic entrance captivates Echo, and the two share a rare moment of joy, dancing together and sparking an emotional, romantic connection. This scene stands out as one of the series' most heartfelt moments, showcasing the depth of their bond amid the chaos. Heimerdinger and Echo complete their project, which appears capable of sending them back to their original dimension. However, just as they prepare to activate it, Heimerdinger steps out, citing minor adjustments still needed. As Echo prepares to leave, Jinx arrives, witnessing the culmination of their efforts. It's a bittersweet twist. Jinx sees the Echo she has grown close to, prepare to leave her behind. With a flash of light, the machine activates and Echo is transformed transported back to his original timeline, leaving Jinx behind with only the memories of their fleeting connection. Mel breaks free from her chains, revealing her latent magical abilities, which rival those of seasoned mages. Impressed by her newfound power, the Black Rose recruits her into their ranks. Now liberated, Mel sets her sights on returning to Piltover, her resolve strengthened by her experience. Grieving over Rictus's death, Ambessa buries him and swears vengeance. Meanwhile, Singe encases Victor in a shimmer cocoon, stabilizing his condition. Victor reveals that an anomaly beneath the Hex Gates holds the key to completing his transformation. Ambessa seizes the opportunity, promising Victor access to the Hex Gates in exchange for enhancing her soldiers with his technology. Vi regains consciousness from her injuries, only to learn that Jinx has been arrested and imprisoned. Determined to save her sister, Vi infiltrates the prison and frees Jinx. However, Jinx locks Vi inside her cell instead, declaring that Vi doesn't need to worry about her anymore. Broken-hearted, Vi is later found by Caitlyn, and the two share a tender, romantic moment amidst the chaos. Mel arrives in Piltover and reunites with Jayce, who credits her presence for saving his life during the explosion in the council chamber. When Jayce questions how long she's known about her powers, Mel admits they manifested only recently. Their reunion is interrupted by a figure controlled by Victor, attempting to breach the Hex Gates. Together, Mel and Jayce thwart the threat, showcasing their combined strength. Later that night, Mel confronts her mother, Ambessa. Overjoyed that Mel is alive, Ambessa listens as Mel pleads for her to cease the attack on Piltover. However, Ambessa coldly refuses, revealing her discovery of a new weapon in Piltover, an army of fearless, death-defying soldiers. The rift between mother and daughter deepens as their ideals clash, setting the stage for an inevitable confrontation. Consumed by grief, Jinx burns Silco's chair and every memory of their shared home. As she contemplates ending her life, Echo appears, pleading with her to reconsider. Jinx, however, pulls the pin on an explosive, aiming to kill them both. Echo, armed with his time loop device, rewinds the moment repeatedly until Jinx finally relents, choosing to live. The War Council devises a desperate strategy: delay Ambessa's advancing Noxian troops long enough for Jayce to disable the Hex Gates. With the shimmer-powered Noxian soldiers storming Piltover, chaos erupts. Vi is pinned down by the enhanced invaders as Caitlyn, Maddie, and other enforcers plan an ambush to stop the shimmer cocoon from entering the city. A failed bomb attempt leads to the cocoon breaching the city limits, and Caitlyn is knocked unconscious by Maddie, who is revealed as a double agent loyal to Ambessa. Ambessa claims victory over the city, only to face betrayal when Mel confronts her. Maddie attempts to kill Mel, but a force field deflects the bullet, which ricochets back and ends Maddie. Mel pleads with her mother to spare the remaining soldiers, but Ambessa's greed blinds her. Delusioned, Mel renounces her mother, vowing to end her tyranny. Jinx, piloting her aircraft with Echo providing air support, leads a contingent of Zornite soldiers into the fray. Strange creatures roam Piltover, casting its citizens into a dreamy stupor. One targets Vi, but she escapes using Echo's hoverboard. At the Hex Gates, Victor confronts Jayce, justifying his actions as the ultimate solution to human suffering, uniting all minds under one consciousness. Jayce counters, arguing that true freedom lies in allowing individuals to choose their own paths. As Victor gains control of the anomaly, he becomes overwhelmingly powerful, releasing it into the sky and connecting everyone in Piltover through glowing ethereal lines. Echo, witnessing the devastation, uses his Z drive to charge towards Victor. Though intercepted by one of the creatures, Echo throws the Z drive at Victor, disrupting his power. This restores Jayce's clarity, allowing him to reveal what he learned in the alternate universe. The cloaked figure he met was an older, regretful Victor, urging Jayce to prevent his descent into tyranny. Together, Jayce and Victor manage to reverse the anomaly, saving Piltover. A monstrous Warwick reappears, attacking Vi. Jinx intervenes, sacrificing herself to save her sister. As she and Warwick fall, Jinx triggers an explosive, leaving Vi to grieve over her loss. Piltover mourns its fallen heroes in a solemn ceremony. Among the new council members, members, Savika takes her seat, signaling a shift in leadership. Meanwhile, Mel departs for Noxus, aboard her ship, her path uncertain but resolute. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Stay tuned for more engaging recaps, and don't forget to subscribe for updates on upcoming stories.